Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. So I can't believe how fast this year is going by. We're now into December and the holiday season. So we have Noelle to work on today. And I started out thinking that I was going to try and do this on white paper. In fact, I did try and do it on white paper, filmed it, and hated it. Struggled for so long, and it was just ridiculous. And you guys know, I have this love-hate relationship with white paper. Unfortunately, it's more hate than love. So I did try. I did try to do a page for you on white paper, but no, not happening. So we went back to the my tried and true Neenah Desert Storm. The paper is on Amazon US. I know some of you can't get this paper in other parts of the world. So I would say, just if you want to work on tan paper, just pick another toned paper that is available in your area. And the tooth is always going to be a little bit different on all of the papers, so just be aware of that as you work. Or you can go ahead and color it on white. Sometimes I recommend to people to maybe follow another tutorial for the skin tone. If you're going to be working on white, follow another tutorial of mine where I am working on white paper, because I do talk about my brain just stopped working. What is the word? Oh my God. The order in which you need to put your pencils down, different than with the way that I do on tan. On white paper, I work from light to dark, and on tan paper, I work from dark to light. Going back and forth, but basically starting with the lighter colors on white paper and the darker colors on the toned papers. All right, so as per usual, I'm going to start with Chestnut. And if I didn't mention this already, which I don't think I did, the link to this page is in the description box down below, where you can find this and many other coloring pages if you're not in the mood for a Christmas page, or I guess this would be considered a Christmas page. There's lots of other things on there to choose from as well. And anything else? Oh, please give the video a little thumbs up. It makes a huge difference. Unfortunately, it just does. So in order for videos to get seen, YouTube wants to see engagement, whether that's a comment or a or a like or something. So it would be much appreciated if you would do that. Let's see, this is the medium version of the page. And anything else? I don't think so. I think that's everything I have to say. So when I did the, apparently I have more to say. When I did the, when I colored this the first time, trying to do it on white paper, which is completely a hit or miss thing for me. But anyway, when I did it the first time, I did the background first as kind of something different to change things up a little bit. And I discovered that that is probably not the best thing for me to do, because what wound up happening was I got little flicks of my product, whether it be the gelatos or the oil pastels or whatever. Sorry, I was gonna sneeze. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sneeze. I know I will. Anyway, I got little tiny flicks of that onto the area where the skin would be. And those little flicks of stuff come off great if there's colored pencil already on the page. I didn't, it just wipes right off with no worries. But when it's on straight, paper, they don't come off as easily. So we had little tiny, not a ton of them, but I had a few little flicks of the color from the background on her, and it was just like, yeah, no, not doing it. So I started over, apparently. So anytime that happens, I always save those discarded pages because they're great for testing on both. If you're doing the page over again, it's great because the image has the printed picture on it that you're working on. But even if it's not the image that you are working on, it's kind of like a nice scrap piece of paper for you to test things on before you do it on your real page. And then you don't have to waste a good clean piece of paper for that. You can just either flip the paper over or work in another area. So I have a whole bunch of scrap papers that I use for testing and things like that. Okay, so our light source is coming from kind of in front of her this way. So this is going to be the darker side of her face. So I'm going to do it a little bit darker over here. We get some magnets on here so that my paper doesn't move around. So today is actually, as I'm filming, the day after Thanksgiving, which we have here in the States. And we call Black Friday because it's the day that, like, everybody, all the sales happen for Christmas. And in years past, it was crazy. I don't know, because I haven't been out for a Black Friday in years, but in years past, before the pandemic and before the before the financial situation that's happening in the world, in America right now, it was crazy. Like, people would go out, even on Thanksgiving Day, which was yesterday. Even on Thanksgiving Day, at the end of the day, people would all go out and go shopping and all that stuff. I have no idea if people still do that or not, because typically this is the day that I do not leave my house because it's madness. The shopping is just madness. I don't deal well with crowds anymore. They used to not bother me, but now I kind of avoid crowds at all costs just because I don't want to deal with the stress. But I was just curious if anybody knew here in the States if people still, show up at, 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning for sales and stuff. It seems like maybe not as much as it used to be because now so many people do online shopping, which I myself am guilty of online shopping. It's so convenient, especially with Amazon Prime, where if something doesn't fit or wasn't to my expectations, I can just return it. But I will admit that the thing that I miss the most about going out and shopping, and things are not so much like this anymore, but it used to be, you'd go out and you'd go shopping and the stores would all be decorated for Christmas and it just felt festive and it just felt I don't know. There was a there was a feel about going Christmas shopping back in the old days that it doesn't feel that way anymore. Part of it, I think, is because they start decorating in the stores now so early that it takes away the magic when you go to want to start Christmas shopping in December, because you've already seen all the everything, all the decorations have been out, especially if you like to shop at the craft stores here in town, here in the States. They've had their Christmas decorations out since Halloween. All right, let's do a little bit more over here. So I can't remember if I asked you guys this when I do all these filming of things, and then especially when I film something and then I trash it. I had 2 whole videos for this when I tried to do this on the white paper. I can never remember if I've talked about something recently or on a video that's already been published. It all starts to blur together. So I'm going to ask again, and if I've already asked you guys this, just ignore me. But if I haven't, what I want to know is so I'm tending to do all of these color alongs using my Prismas and a few Luminance, because that seems to be what most of you have as far as your colored pencils go. But when I'm working and not filming, when I'm creating pages for myself, or when I'm doing the original drawings or whatever, I tend to not stick with just Prismas. I tend to pull in a lot of other brands as well, depending on what colors I need. Usually Luminance, but more recently I've been pulling some of the Derwent Light Fast, which were given to me as a very wonderful, generous gift. And there's some colors in the Derwent Light Fast range that are really, really nice. I use a few of my Holbeins quite a bit, especially that cork one. But there's some other ones that I like as well. And it just kind of depends, there's always a pencil that I think to myself, oh, I need, something else. So where I was going with this was, do you all want me to completely continue with the mostly Prismacolor tutorials? Or do you want me to do a page where I just completely don't care about what brands I'm using? I just pull out what I would pull out and use that. I never know. I never know if you want to see them being done the way I would normally do it, or if you want to see it being done the way that you can color along. So if you have an opinion on that, just let me know. Drop it in the comments or something. So I'm going to color around this, her earring, her snowflake earring with this dark color. I'm not going to, like freak out if I get it on here, because I'm actually going to probably use a Posca pen in the end to go over this. But I'll save the coloring over the whole thing with lighter colors. I think I'll just be happier and be able to see what I want to be able to see if I go over it. Just with the lighter colors and not with these darker ones. So I'm not stressing too hard about not touching it at all, but I am, at least trying not to go over it too much. All right, let's do a little in here. All right, so there's this line right here. That's another kind of reflective shadow. So we want to keep that. I'm gonna put some white on that. I don't want to color over that. Okay, let's come under her collarbone. I'm just barely touching the paper here. A little bit under here. Okay, and I think I will put some over here. maybe just right along the edge of her shirt, top, dress, whatever this is. Find that flat spot again. All right, let's move on to peach. I might show you guys when I get this skin tone finished. I might show you the page that I had done with her skin on the white paper. It's not that it was really bad, although it's not finished. It took me, I think I filmed for 2 hours, and I still had at least an hour to go to get it to where I would want it. So it's not that it was just like terrible or anything like that. It's just not what I personally wanted or was happy with. And it's quite a different, it turned out to be a super duper like light porcelain skin tone. I just could not get it dark enough. So I'll show it to you, and then you can, you know, I don't know, you'll be able to see one more example of white paper versus toned paper. I think I want to just take my chestnut and put a little bit more of a shadow right here on the other side of her, the ball of her nose. Wasn't quite dark enough with just the peach. We'll go with that. And back to the peach again. All right, I'm going to add some more of the chestnut again. Sorry, I'm just looking at that nose thinking, nope, that's just not shaded enough on this side. That's a little better. here now. Oh, I see another spot that I forgot to put Chestnut on. So back to Chestnut again. Let's get this shadow in here. Back to peach. All right, I don't think I'm going to put a whole lot of peach on this side of her face. I think we'll use light peach over there. We can always put the peach on top, but I want this side of her face to be nice and bright, and then this side of her cheek as well. All right, let's do I don't think I'm going to bother putting any. Am I? No, we're going to have to put some. Never mind. Scratch that. I'm going to go ahead. And I think that this is light enough that I can go ahead and just go over the snowflake now. Under the chin. Sorry, trying to figure out how to get this. I know that put everything in shadow. We'll just come from here. a little bit more here. Now I think it's time to switch to white for a little bit. All right, so let's get some. Yep, that sucks. All right, I'm going to sharpen this just so it's ready for me when I dropped my peach. Okay, white. Get some right around the corner of her eye. I don't want to forget that. Let's do this too. Let's do lip right over the top of her lip. And on her chin. Just at the brightest spots, though, not all over the whole thing. We'll use light peach to get some of these lighter areas. I think I want to do a little bit more right here, though. All right, we'll do a little bit. Just here, and maybe just a really light layer. We can always add more later, though, so. Okay, let's do light peach. Oh, I forgot to put some white on her forehead, so I'm gonna kind of leave that. Well, no, let's just put it on there. I was gonna say let's wait, but let's not wait. Let's go ahead and put a little bit right here in the center. All right, back to light peach. I think I want some white right there as well. I'm going to keep it away from this area right here because I don't want to lighten that up. I want to say like what my mom used to say to me: do as I say and not as I do. Every time I use my hand to brush off crumbs, I hear you guys in my head cringing or saying, no, don't do that. Let's get, did I screw up right there? I might have. Where's my eraser? Ah, right here. Okay, so I think this little area right here was not supposed to be colored. So So that, I mean, it's really not a disaster, but this is actually the edge of her shoulder. So there's a little gap between the hair and the top of her shoulder. That I'll probably fill in with hair. It's not a big deal, but I just wanted to kind of get that color off so that it wouldn't give me any problems later, or I would not get more confused when I went to keep going. Boy, that light peach is really bright when it goes straight onto the tan paper. Whereas when you put it on white paper, it's actually quite dark. That's why I usually put down some peach beforehand, but I want the brightness, and we'll tone down the color with a few more layers of stuff, other colors. Okay, what's next? Let's put some pink on her cheeks. Let's go for just straight pink to start with, and let's see what that does. Some over here as well. Okay. I'm feeling like I might want to do, what do I want to do? I might want to do beige next. So let me see. Don't do this yet. Let me kind of get a feel for how this is going to look. Yeah, I think I like it because it's not as yellow as eggshell. And it'll warm up the skin tone a little bit. let's do some... What do I want? I might be breaking out the Luminance. You can tell I use these. I use these a lot. They're the shortest pencils in my stash of Luminance. Yeah, you should. It's really. I mean, if I had known ahead of time, if I knew then what I know now, I would probably have not bought the whole set. I would probably have just bought the all those skin colors that I have mentioned to you guys before, because unfortunately I have a whole lot of let's see, I'm going to try this dark flesh 40%, which is number 745. It's also called Warm Earth. Let's see if this is what I want. No, I might, oh, let's see. All right, hang on. Let me figure this out. This is the straight Warm Earth, dark flesh. I don't know, you guys. I'm going to put these away for a second and break out my chestnut again. Anyway, if you look at my pencil case, 80% of my pencils are all really long and haven't hardly even been touched of the Luminance, but my skin tone Luminance pencils are like getting pretty short. All right, so far I'm changing my mind on the Luminance. I might go back to them, but for right now, I think between this chestnut and maybe some black grape might do the job. I am a little worried about, well, I'm not worried. That's a bad, worried is not the right word. I am a little unhappy with this part right here. So let's go over that a little bit. And then I think black grape. Let's break out the black grape. That's going to help. I'm going to go very lightly. It's a dark color. I don't want to put on too much. A little bit up in here too. Actually, I could probably add that in after I get the fur hat done. I think that'll be a better plan, is to add that in after the hat. Okay, let's let's do some grade lavender. kind of using this to blend the dark into the lighter. So kind of right along this edge here. Maybe underneath her chin. Okay, let's do a little. All right, I want to take out the burnt ochre. I'm going to put some, I guess they're freckles. We're just going to put a little bit of yeah, I'll call them freckles. They're better than, they sound better than sunspots or age spots, because she's too young to have age spots. But you know. All right, I'm kind of thinking, what am I thinking? Let's try a little bit of this. I'm going to put this on the side. I don't know why. It was just my instinct to do. I want to, that's not going to work. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to, all right, we'll just go really, really light. And then little teeny tiny circles. All right, I'm going to take a piece of paper. This is where having a scrap piece of paper comes in handy. I guess it doesn't matter if it's light or dark. And I'm going to just give myself a little bit more of a flat edge on this pencil. So that as I don't want, you know, I don't want pencil lines. So if my pencil has sort of a flat edge on it, it makes this a little bit softer. I will blend it all out again as well, but that just seems to help me. Let's put a little bit. I usually do this color after I've blended with white to warm it back up again. I'm trying it different this time to see what will happen. I might have to come back in and add more later, I don't know. Okay. I think I actually want a little bit more cheek color, or under the cheek, I guess. Okay, I need to slow down. I'll lighten my pressure as I come closer into the face. Okay. Let's get this. A little darker. And I think under here a little bit darker. It's an odd angle because her face is kind of looking upwards. So you've got this double highlight, this double it's left me, you know, the bounced light, which I think I forgot to put any pencil on, so let's just do that. And then we'll blend, I'll blend that out. In fact, let me take my peach. Because I want it light, but I don't want it white. That's better. I always feel like I tend to neglect the lower part of the bodies. I always spend so much time on the faces, and then when it comes time to work on the whole thing, I go, oh my goodness, I have nowhere near enough pencil down on the lower part of her body, lower part of her. I guess this is called the bust. I don't know. Or at least that's what they're called when you look at a... I'm rambling, guys. Seriously. You know what I mean. Like her chest area. I guess a bust, what I was thinking of, is like when you have the head and shoulders of a sculpture. I guess that's what's called a bust. Yeah, I can just look at this and see that I don't have nearly enough pencil down here on hers. Those colors are all nice, though. I mean, I know it looks a little blotchy on the in the film, but it's nice because I can see all the different colors that I put on here. I can see the light peach, the peach, some lavender, and they all blend together to make a nice skin tone. I'm kind of thinking I might try some... I'm gonna put some white on here now and start blending. See what we get. So the areas that I left kind of without a whole lot of color on them, those are going to get to be the brightest, which is good. That's what we want. Sure if I'm going to blend this whole thing with white now that I'm kind of looking at it. I might use the color of the Caran d'Ache full blender instead. Let's do a little bit more down here. Actually, I think I'm going to put some here. All right, let's see what happens when we blend. I'm not sure if I have enough pencil down yet or not. Like that area, I didn't put a lot of color in here, so let's do a little bit of light peach. All right, let's keep going. You got to have plenty of pencil down on your paper for a blender to work properly. It's got to have pigment to be able to move around the page. And it's interesting because I've read in comments where people have said that, you know, they're giving advice, and they've said that they find that blending pencils dull down the color. I'm always fascinated by that because in almost every case that I've experienced, the blending pencil has intensified the color. So I always find it interesting to hear how different people's experiences are depending on, you know, whether they have enough layers on the page, depending on what paper they're using. That's why I feel like you always have to experiment yourself when you're getting advice from somebody. Just because something works one way for one person does not mean that it's going to work exactly the same way for another person. And I've also had a lot of people say that they can't add more layers after they've used a blender pencil. And that's another thing that surprises me because I use my blender pencil and then add more layers all the time. And I don't know if they're just pushing so hard that they're flattening that tooth. It's possible that there's not enough layers on the page, and then they're pushing really, really hard to try and blend those colors around. And so that's when they're flattening out the tooth and they're not able to add more layers on top. I don't know, that's just a guess because you know, I can't see physically what they're doing. I think we're going to come in here and add some more freckles on her chest. Let's try a different color this time. Let's try Sienna Brown. Pretty happy with where we're at. Tone-wise, I think it's okay. Part of me feels like I should maybe put some more shadow in around her collarbone. But with what? Let's try grade lavender. And then I think I want to make this area a little bit darker. Let me try Sienna Brown. Let's see what that does. It's quite a golden, you know, kind of an orangey color. I like that. Let's bring some of this up in here too then. Yeah, I like that. Let's add some more of that. Maybe over here. Maybe on her chest. What I could also use, let's try my blending stump. That's a big one. Oh, that's a really big one. Hang on, I'll find one. Here, I'll go with this one. I like that. That gives a nice smooth finish. Okay, I'm gonna pull this camera. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to turn the camera off and then pull back a little bit rather than doing a zoom out, because that'll change the colors quite significantly, and I don't want to do that. So let me just reset the camera here. Okay, I just wanted to kind of pull it back a little bit so it wasn't quite so tight. Sometimes it helps to see things from a little further away to get a better feel for what's going on. All right. I'm debating on whether I want to add more white on her skin to lighten things up just a little bit. So I'm gonna try. It's just kind of like a layer of white. Let's see if that just lightens things up a little bit. Not too far into the dark areas. That's definitely not what I want to do. And I don't want her to look blotchy. I need to work on her nose a little bit, so I think I'm going to try some beige. Just something here's, maybe we need some more darks. Maybe that's the problem. Let me do, all right, I'm going to do Chestnut. Although this might be a good time for the, this might be a good time to break out the Luminance. 745. And let's use the 748 as well. That's better already. also think doing the lips and the eyes is going to help as well. I always not struggle, but anytime I'm feeling like I'm just not super duper happy, doing the eyes and lips always seems to help. So this is the 745. If you don't have these, Beige Sienna is good. Espresso is good. They're not perfect. They're not gonna, be an exact match. So always do a small area. Always start small. Anytime you're using a substitute color, you always want to just test it out a little bit before you go, full commitment, because you want to make sure that you're the one that's happy with how the color looks. All right, let's get some nostrils on here. Sometimes that helps me as well. It's getting those darks dark enough makes a difference. Okay, almost ready. I'm going to take my my Chestnut, and I'm just going to want to smooth that line a little bit. I feel like this looks blotchy for some reason. Let's try 748. $7.45. It's better. All right, I think I'm ready to do lips and eyes. Almost ready. Let's do a little bit more pink. You know what? Let's try Nectar instead. Let's try some Nectar. I'm going to put some on her nose. Alrighty. Almost. I'm almost ready. I know. It's taking a little while, but it is what it is. I want to make sure that I've got enough layers of pencil down. I really don't like it when I can see paper, the tone of the paper, or any of it. I don't like seeing that underneath. And any area where I do see that, I know that I've just not put down enough pencil yet. So that was, sorry, what did I just use there? Light peach. And this is beige. Just want to make sure that we're smooth. Beige. White. For some reason, this area right here is not, it's not taking pencil well right here. I'm kind of wondering if it's because I put white down first. I don't know. It's like I put it on there and then I try and smooth it out, and it gets funny. So try and keep my pressure light. I think we're going to go with that. Leave it. All right, I'm going to pull out my colors that I need for her eyes and lips. And I'm going to come back and we'll do that. All righty, so let's work on her eyes and lips. I think we'll do the eyes first. In kind of looking at her while I was off camera, this is Nectar. I'm having I like her on one hand. On the other hand, I feel like she's a little bit too pink. There's not enough, I don't necessarily want her to be more yellow. I don't know. Something's not quite right, but I'm not sure what it is yet. So I guess we'll live with it for a little while longer. Let's go ahead and put in, I thought I got everything I needed. I did not. Let's, let me pull out some of these. Let's do some cool gray 50%. And then I'm going to blend that with 10% cool gray. And I think we'll put some of this 50% in over here too. All right, let's take the Nectar and put that right under this eye. This is like the underside of the water line. Maybe something brighter too. Let's see. Do a little bit of this light peach as well. Okay. Let's do some pale sage right underneath. Then some Prussian Green. And some Kelp Green. Kelp Green goes on top, right underneath the eyelid. And on the outer. Let's go ahead and put that black, the pupil in. And somewhere is my white. Wait, let's do, one sec, let me sharpen this. All right, white. All right, let's do some of this Nectar right under here. And I want Henna. Here we go. Okay, so a little bit of Henna. I almost feel like I want a little bit more of this gray. Okay, now let's go ahead and put the black in. So she's got quite a lot of eyeliner on. Remember to keep your eyelashes curled, not straight, and clumped together if you can. Not all of them necessarily, but they do, you know, come together at the points quite often. So curl those lashes. All right, and then we'll do some really soft. I'm going to do a soft I don't know, I would call it eyeliner, I guess. Just kind of make it a little bit fluffy if you can. Like we smudged it, you know, with a smudge stick. All right. I think let's try a little gray-green light again. Is that what that is? Yeah, pale. I get these two mixed up all the time, pale sage and gray-green light. I'm just going to soften this underside here a little bit. All right, let's get that's good. All right, let's do the lips. So I'm gonna do, got a broken white. Do some white pretty heavily in the center. And I am going to start with Nectar. I've tried doing it other ways, and I always come back to putting Nectar down first. It's just, it seems to work for me. I think I'm going to start with Mahogany, which is pretty pink. And then I'll redden it with Tuscan Red. Or we'll do some Tuscan Red. Keep this mostly in the darkest part of the lip. Blend this with the blender. Okay, some black. All right, let's try white again. Maybe a little bit of this pink. Tuscan. Okay, I don't know why, but I'm having this very strong urge to put some mineral orange on here. I like that. That just like really warmed up that that red. I made it a nice orangey red. Now here's the part where I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the right thing or not. Okay, I think just that tiny little bit was good. That little tiny defining of that top lip. Just that little bit. I like that. Okay, so now that I have the eyes and lips done, I'm not as I don't hate her skin anymore. I was feeling like it was too pink and not bright enough. But I will say that I'm happy with it. So we'll give her a little bit more sparkle in her eyes because you know, it's the holidays and there's lights and all that good stuff. And let's put, because I always feel like I want to finish it off with doing her eyebrows. And I'm going to be using Espresso in her hair, even though we're doing a blonde. It's a dark blonde. So I want to finish off her eyebrows and then we're going to be done. right. I think once we get all the other stuff done, her skin tone is going to be just fine. So that's a wrap on the skin. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the hair next or if I want to do the background next. I guess I'll make that decision later. So until I see you guys for the next one, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy coloring. Bye-bye.